Welcome back, my most ethical light and love crew. I decided to sit a little crisscross applesauce on my little ottoman thingy going on here. Ottoman poof footstool. Give me a second. I had to grab something. And now some cards fell. Alright. So, good morning, my most ethical light and love crew. Got a few things on task today. Like this is the perfect timing to keep things short. Short, simple, sweet. Should we do the little hair clippy thing? Should we do a little hair clippy? Ow. Let's do the little hair clippy. Yay. Angels of light and love, welcome you in to do your thing. My divine panel, of course, to kind of just help me figure this one out. Yeah, I was heavily attacked again last night, but said again, it was good to do the reading. I was starting to worry, like, is this too much? And I just figured, you know, it's fine. It's not about other people being here for me to, you know, to gain validity. It's more of like, I just need to get some answers, and maybe some others do too. But again, it is about the practice. And I think sometimes we scroll through our feed to just kind of find those answers rather than develop them. In either way, you still have to circle back with self. And today I have a candle, a pillar candle encased in, you know, glass, within a pillar candle that had burnt out, but it's now hollowed inside. Just to make sense out of my space. At the moment, it just happened last night. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But, oh, here we go. I forgot about this part. Okay, so on the right hand, I have the Lover's card, it looks like in reverse. Cover card. And then on the left hand, I have Four of Swords. So there's some sort of like a periodic do-si-do energy here. Except I don't believe that we switched partners on this one. It's just more of like a circling about around others that are circling about. And normally I don't read this card in this way, but look at it. I mean, according to the context, I mean, I knew that I was going to have to do this read. It sounded correct. Like once I got the title, you know, down pat, the inquiry, I felt like, okay, I'm not supposed to let go of this. This is correct. And I know that this is a period, like while I was grabbing the deck, I was like, yeah, this sounds right. It's not about really 100% like the intimate romance part of it, but just the undeniable part of life that is intimate. It's quite, I wouldn't say intrusive, because intrusive is rude in its implications, but it's more like involved. Volunteered, involved. Getting your involvement. And so this is supposed to spark some nostalgia. If this is a period, like I want to know what this is all about. I mean, someone's telling me it's about someone I don't know was implying or suggesting rather that it was about self-worth. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It didn't take much to like uncover that part. I mean, I did a phone interview the other day, and it was, you know, I had already prefixed that this is my rate range, but I was like, okay, let's get engaged in this Q&A. And what I learned is to be more forward and direct, or just, you know, maybe this is just practicing in a checkbox, okay? To say, you know, I did what I was supposed to do in relating to the universe, what my worth is. And not to bend on that just because, you know, of proposed situations, these supposed illusions. And that's supposed to make you question your self-worth. Like, what are you going to propose yourself as, regardless of how you see yourself or how you know yourself to be. So that's where I'm at right now. And I did convey, and I was solid with it. It was respectful and solid. A lot more etiquette built into this because of the other person also involved. So what is this period all about? So it looks like some just like dancing around a little bit, moving around, you know, circling about, maybe a two-step here, maybe a little cha-cha, because you can see like the little outfit here. Maybe a little two-step, maybe a little cha-cha, but it's partnered up, and it's interesting because when you realize in dance moves, because of the attire that's worn, it looks like in this time period that if we're looking at internalizing this, it's the yin yang energy amongst other yin yang energies. So this is not a dance contest. It doesn't look like anything like that here. It's more so saying, if we're depicting the yin yang energy, like you can't really see the female's moves, but like on the doing side, you can't see the receptivity side. You can't see what this person has gone through, what life has dished out to them, what cards that they were dealt, how they're perceiving things, but you can see the realm of how they take action. On the male side, because they're wearing pants, because they're stepping up, basically, on this level and moving about, leading the way, you can see they can't really hide their moves. And I don't really think it's a matter of hiding or like being discreet with moves. It's a matter of factual exposure. And I think that's the realm of like minor arcana judgment in this realm. Like people, there is an audience, there are observers, and then there are pedestrians that are just like walking, like passing through in the grand ballroom, let's say. And looking at this, it's like, okay, so on your doing side, Tina, looking at this as the Lover's card in reverse. Yeah, perfect, yin yang energy. What have you internalized? What have you learned when you're putting yourself out there? Okay, this is cover card. And also, like, you can put yourself out there, but you can also be objective to your situation. So like, those are the header cards, is what I'm understanding here. Okay, so 46 is an angel number here. Yeah. Okay, so bottom of the deck energy is being objective. Ta-da! Top of the deck, they made me pick two. Is Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. How do you expend your energy? Is there any expendable income with what you own? And again, we're talking about tangibles and intangibles. This is the top of the deck, but this is the second in line, okay? But it looks like it's the front liner, right? Yeah, so that's smart, being objective with what you own. Okay, I like that. Let's go ahead and put them down. Okay, world card is. So I'm looking at the finisher. There's nothing solemn about this one. And I just remembered that I'm being observed by others for a position that I'm being considered for. And so you get these tidbits along the way, like little bites here and there, and you kind of entertain them, like, okay, so what is this all about? And they said that they would circle back with me if anything changed, you know, but like at this point, that was clearly a checkbox for me to say, you know, you're worth this amount. You're not going to just jump around just to get anything that you can, because then you have to settle into it. Like, is this girl happy? You know, is this Tina girl happy in this phase of her life based on what she not 100% what she accepted, or I guess accepted, you know, how did she accept her reality? How did she accept her fate? You know, like, was it something that was just, did she have did she exercise her free will and her power to speak up for herself? And I feel like that was correct, without being, being like the teenager angsty, or even like the 30-year-old angsty, energetic with what you've encountered thus far. So that's where I'm at. Okay, so what is this phase all like? What is this period all about for me? Let's just isolate. Let's just go to like one-to-one source, my defined panel. What is this period about for me? Eight of Swords in reverse and Six of Swords in reverse. It's plain and simple. It's a lot of swords energy. We got 14 here, which is, if you're looking at making moves from the minor to the major arcana, hidden in here is the energetic of temperance within the swords energy. Tempering the way you think, tempering your thoughts. Sometimes, like, your thoughts are just, how do I say it? There may be downloads, so it's separate from like what your position is. They're just being receptive to what's going on around you. So this is active meditation time, especially looking like getting yourself out of being stuck. Eight of Swords, and then finding the calm, Six of Swords in reverse. So that's pretty interesting there. Okay. Because a lot of the things that happen, like, you can have the most fortunate layout of cards, fortunate circumstances, but and it's already in play. It's not like just a trajectory. It's not just a prophecy. It's, you're living it. But at the same time, when you're in it, this is a lot of celebrities or high profile people. It's like, are you where's your mind? So this is a lot of housekeeping before something like I wanted to say wonderful comes along, but this is already wonderful in itself. To have the opportunity to clear your mind and clarify what you do want more than what you don't want is excellent. Because when you get that inflow, it's some of that, depending on what the divine has in mind for you, can be almost unstoppable. And so I feel there's some things that are wonderful and like grand for me, but it's also equally important and auspicious to have this time to regulate internal matters. And I feel good with myself. I feel good with how I present myself. I'm definitely proud of myself for being able to be objective to the point where I believe whoever I meet is not going to, like, a lot of the anxieties are now null and void. I'm more in myself and more I just feel a lot more understanding of myself, for sure. So I didn't get to check like if there were any lunar things going on, but shortly after this reading I have to not rush, but move promptly. Move promptly, for sure. I already know what I'm supposed to do. Just make those moves towards it. Okay, so anything else? We're gonna spend like maybe another 15 minutes on here. Oh, where did that go? Judgment, extroverted, karma. It's coming through. Make way, make way. And that's what we're doing. We're just clearing the clutter, organizing thoughts, and making a broader pathway so that things can they come through. Oh, you know what I'm hearing? Because I have a visual with this, growing up with the movie. It's Aladdin, where Aladdin becomes his, I don't know, a prince or something like that. His wishes come true, and then he has his caravan proceeding, and behind him, like, make way for Prince Ali, you know. And then they have like the gypsies, din, 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 you know. Uh, it's very it's a lot coming through, busting through the doors. These massive, like, Egyptian-sized doors. You know, like, how did they create that? So, bottom of the deck now is Temperance in reverse. It's an outpour. That's exactly what they're saying. Oh, yeah, King of Wands. So, definitely, the networks are pulling through, and this is like a massive outpour of, I want to say, love, because it's like, declare! But it's like, it's not even the pettiness anymore of like, 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare them more, because everybody's thumbs are twiddling as far as like, okay, so what's going to happen next? I'm, you know, bored out of their mind. And so, top of the deck, no secret to the saucies. My saucies are 9 of Pentacles in reverse. That's a common theme now. This is interdependence. This is a cross-functional network. Everybody's great at what they do. Impeccable timing and combination. This is like, you're at the arcade, like old school style, and like you're conversing with somebody else, like player 1, player 2, and it's like, dude, this person's like, you know, really, really good or whatever, and it's like, it's almost humbling, I would say. I don't even know where I'm going with. I don't know how this story relates, because it's not something that, like, I've been sheltered. So this is more so an understanding of what other people have, like, lived through, and this is, I don't know. So anyway, their friend comes along, like, oh my god, I need you here, like, save me. We need to kill this person. You know, like, battle it out. And so it's just satisfying when one of your team members is like, it comes up to bat, and it's like that win by association, and familiarity. So it's kind of like that. I don't know how. Interdependence. Okay, so this is kind of like team sports play, the energetic behind it. And again, I told you, I don't really have very much background in that, if at all. But this is something that they're showing me, that realm of like sportsmanship. And it's not about slaying and like that the other side, the other team, but it's more of like that energetic, like knowing that you've kind of like met your match, but at the same time, just because it's like a challenge that you haven't conversed with before, and you want to win it, and so you pull, like, the divine pulls a source out of your pocket, a resource out of your pocket, and it's like, oh, your friend, your buddy, and you just want to see it like go down, you know, and you want to wave your flag. So it's similar to that, because like you learn from each other, even if you're not like on the board playing, because your team member is up there. It's like, oh, dude, like that was a perfect combo, you know, not just energetic of us like seeing you all of a sudden drop by. I didn't know you were gonna be here, and so it's more about that energetic than like opposing the other energy, which is it's innocent, it's lovable, and it's just like the spirit of leadership, because you know it's in its very subtle context. You're bringing up your team players, yeah. So bring those two down too. Yep, 2 of Cups, kin energy for sure. Partnerships that are long lasting, you know, it's good. And I see the protection, like elk rune symbol here, just at the top. It looks like that in reversal, right here. Just this is like a little memo notification. You can't. It doesn't really look like it right there, but at a distance, yeah, it does. Okay, so when you're looking at things, sorry, my 8:30 alarm. So when you're looking at things objectively, masterpiece level, you don't have to squint your eyes like, oh, do I see it or do I not? Things just come to you. So that's good. And I was also, I don't know why they're telling me this, about being objectified. Like, what they're telling me is, in part of this period, in finding clarity with yourself and how you present yourself, Tina, you don't need to be like trapped in this little box. Like, oh, you have to be so buttoned up, and you don't always have to act a certain part in order to get it. Like, things change over time, and we're not talking about like what's trending or not. Like, certainly that's part of the ratio, the fraction of, like the ins, but it's just um like your perspective changes over time. It develops, and so you don't have to worry about like being caught up in a box. Like yesterday, dude, I was like, I worked hard with my kids, and we all like put in our efforts to move some things around, things that like make improvements, and it was just like all of a sudden, like, it wasn't super dead on schedule as far as like, putting it in the calendar. Okay, you're gonna do this. It was very like loose leaf, and so it wasn't like wound up in the little like spiral notebooks. And so we had a lot of wiggle room. We made sense out of our day, but it was a lot of hard work. Like, seriously, a lot of patience, even working with each other. And it was nothing like, no crazy commotion other than the laborious part of it and figuring things out. And we all worked together, and it was fabulous. It was great. I'm glad we had that experience together. Um, and and so it was, I would say, definitely a retreat, an energetic retreat from what we're accustomed to in a regular work week. And we made a huge difference. Like, I don't even want to say difference, because difference implies like a deduction. But it's very conclusive, yeah. But it's more so like, we made improvements, and that's even better to say than developments, because you can develop something and it's like, meh, it's just like there's a standstill, and you have to like do all of these like tests, um, uh, within different facets of your life, from engineering, number one, like root cause analysis, to like the marketing part of it, or um, the networking part of it, like, how does this speak, um, the audience, etc. And so anyway, getting like a little distracted here. So we did all of those things. It's wonderful. Good. Why did we bring up that story again? Oh, sense of awareness here. No, why did we bring up that story? Oh, I was just, thank you for reminding me. I was, like, we were all like sweaty, like gross. And so when I did that reading, after, I was just kind of like annoyed, like, come on, are you serious? When I found that other spider, and it found its way to like falling to its escape. It was kind of like a tower moment, like, I didn't know I was gonna get caught, whatever. Finding answers, like, I was sitting in basically like, I don't know, 10 to 12 years of like dust, like working on some things. So I had to take off my bottoms, and I'm like, this is basically like a beach thing. Like, it's nothing promiscuous, and I want to make sure that it's not about that. But like, I couldn't sit on my floor because of that spider thing. And so, like, like, you know, don't bottle yourself up too much. You know, you're just doing a reading. That's all that it's about. It's not about you wearing, you know, your top and your underwear, basically. Like, it's not even anything like that. It was just like, I just got to do a reading. So, what were we going to say about that? Oh, yeah. So, aesthetics, oh, about self-worth. And I think that's maybe where it generated from. Like, people think less of me or think certain things of me because I'm, oh, she's not wearing bottoms again. Or, you know, whatever. I don't know. Trying to be objective to whatever interpretation there is out there. But, you know, I know what I did for the day. I know how I contributed not just to my life, but also my kids. And this is all in the state of, like, moving forward. And gosh, I'm just so happy that we did all those things. And it didn't take much time. So, again, what is this period about in my life? Like, what is this period all about? Okay, again, the Hermit card in reverse and Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's about the breakup energy. Like, when you make that decision, when you come into a sense of awareness, like, it's the ability to let things go. And I think possibly the divine has, like, done a switcheroo cup thing to show me, like, in letting go of the previous job, there were signals for me to make that decision. And I think my kin also got confused. They're like, no, if, like, you should be letting go of, like, you're the one that should be in active mode and making that decision. And sometimes energetically you can just do that. But I know specifically Spirit told me the contrast of, no, you're not supposed to deliberately put yourself in a position of confusion and turmoil, like in a questionable position, for to make a point, to prove the principle that you're above this. And so something will come along the way. And so the decision was made on the external. And so I was, I'm hearing obedient in complying with it. So in order to kind of make up for that, because I've already energetically put myself there, but the motions, the Four of Swords, like the dance part of it, the seeing part of it, the moves are in this, like, domestic minor arcana stuff. Like, okay, so she has to rack up X amount of points in order to suffice for the actions that are normally warranted for this type of situation. So I feel like that's what it is. Like, when you come into the awareness and it's something that you see that you cannot unsee, how do you break apart from that energy? How do you let that energetic dissolve like it's no issue? And like, it's not even, like, it's not an issue. You're just addressing something, and something that you need to let go of, and that's making room for foreboding, positively foreboding, room for opportunity, around for that. Excuse me, 8:39 o'clock. Okay, a little bit more here. King of Swords inverted. So that is the truth, absolute truth for me, and nothing but the truth. And look, the tip of the sword is gone. So, something about breaking, because it's laying on the floor. So you've made your point, Dina. You've made your point. And I think the universes are making their point with me, because it's inverted. So obviously I've already spoke my piece. That was received and now reciprocated. The universe has made its point with me. Interesting. So, like, shields down. The universe bears no ill will to me. So I feel like that's making room for the next step. Like, okay, lesson learned. Checkbox. Okay. Okay, bottom of the deck is Four of Cups in reverse. The Chosen. The right choice, basically. Yeah. So for a little bit now, we've been seeing the Four of Cups now in reversal as the chosen one. But normally it's like the select choice. This is where you want to go. It's an obvious, like, when we're looking at multiple choice, that they even reduced it down to a true or false. So it seems like it's trickery because it's like, oh, you now, like, it's a 50-50, you know, if you're looking at things more of like I'm trapped energy. It's like no, they've simplified it, and if you really like settle down in your energy, it's going to be obvious. So what's behind the Four of Cups in reverse? I want to know. Three of Swords. And then Seven of Wands. Okay, so this is definitely like bucking up. This is grow up energy. You make the decision, you slay it, you kill it, etc. And now you have the upper hand. You have the advantage. 734 is an angel number here for me. Yeah, so this is an address. They keep saying state of address. I don't even know what that's supposed to imply, but I think some of you do know what I'm talking about here, what this means for you, your reference point. But this is facing like the rule of like heartbreaks and disappointments, and a little bit of like a ruthless, careless energy. But that's something that you face in life regardless of whether you're trying to avoid it or not. And so it's confrontational is what I want to say. One more. Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's very confrontational. So you know, in handling these interactions this week, I've addressed them in receptivity, where like, you know what, I'm not going to be afraid of this. I'm not going to be afraid of like looking at the bill or opening up this email or making that call. Everything, every bit is advancing, not just in its singular moment, but the prompt, so what comes of it after. And so you're just motioning for it, like you're motioning, you're just like kind of slowly edging it, like along the desert. Like, how does this rock move from like here to there? Like, how did that happen? So it's naturally doing that, like just moving with the ebbs and flows, and even with the stillness of what appears to be stagnancy. Things are moving along, and I'm not just encouraging it, but facilitating it, and that's what this realm is all about. Okay. Top of the deck, no secret. Fool card, talking about journeys and pathways and moving things right along. This is upright. It's no secret. This is obvious. Whether you're an occultist or not, it's just a matter of experience. So I think a lot of people get me on that level. And for a long time, I've seen this card as an art of balancing, but I realized there's kind of like a tabletop energy, you know, like a high top, you know, the stand-up bar tables. So you're outside. So this is being put like kind of on a pedestal. So this must be at a very high range, because there's clouds, there's a flock of birds. So maybe the balancing act is not about like like on this like little, you know, surface area with this big old plate. Maybe it's just being put like high up there. Again, remember I got high honor in the previous, like a few readings ago. Anyway, high up there, and the atmosphere is different. You know, there's a lot of other things happening up there, even if it's just wind. Oh, again, look, there's tea. I didn't even realize there's tea here. That's crazy, coming from where I just came from. So, this is interesting. This is so crazy. So it's still a balancing act, but it's not like as complicated as what we once thought before. So that's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, so what is my divine kin and I's takeaway? Two of Swords. This is a blocked off period. This is a simple means of acknowledgement that like this is a private space, you know, kind of untouchable. So whether or not there are trespassers, it still remains untouchable. There's high security, like levels of security that surround this. In fact, let me get a clarifier for that, okay? Queen of Wands in reverse. There's a level of magic here, magic, here. And it's being like selective with who gets to really see into that. This is perfecting the practice because it's again being objective. You know, this is the witch of the deck. Primary witch of the deck. Yeah. They're saying it's something about being regulated. Okay. So thank you very much. What is my takeaway? Just mine. My divine panel. What do you want to say? We'll get 2 or 3 cards, I feel like. The moon card in reverse. So this is about new moon information. It's intentions, basically. I got that in a private read and recently, and so again, it's just examining intentions. Where do you come from without anybody asking you? What is your personal inquiry? Like, where do you start from? What's your roots? You know. Okay. Clarification. The Lover's card in reverse. So this is a much more zoomed in version of your yin yang energy, Tina. This is so weird. This energetic is so weird. Like, I didn't expect to really come up with like solid, tangible answers, and this makes sense. Like, I'm not going to ask the question twice because it's what they're telling me is very theme focused. So it's not being too vague, like in this arena and flighty and this and that. No, there's a lot of connection here on that. All right, last one for me. Third one. Clarifier for the clarifier. Page of Wands. Again, with the interest of the World card here in gray, in the gray area that's solid, that's tangible. So this is just, you know, walking about confidently, moving about confidently, knowing that your path is lit, you know, with the projection of, you know, the end. So this period is not like a forever thing. It's something that you learn once. It's just like kind of a review, a personal review, and while you're kind of just passing along. So it's something that you can resource at any given time, but this particular period and phase is very standalone and stand out, so that you are able to engage in that, like resource that out of pocket whenever you need to. Okay, so it's very specific. Okay, thank you very much for all donations provided in light and love that reciprocate only in and of light and love. Now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my power, energy, essence, and gifts from those who present, cast, bear, generate, or any variation thereof, ill will, intent, and or entities, to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit and Archangel Michael's blue flame for cleansings and blessings, and then to be refortified in me and only me, hassle-free, no bother, but with all bonus points. Oh, no attachments, but with the exception of all bonus points included. So regardless if you've been here for a minute, a few seconds, a whole hour, within a 30-minute reading, it still applies. Okay. Upon closing the portals in this reading, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas too. Here, wait, give me a second. Yep, okay. assisting with a sequence of roll out and light and love. I close the portals in this reading. No.